Hello, hello. Welcome to the Wellness on Purpose podcast, where our intention is to provide you with impactful, educational, and realistic information to help you progress on your journey to live wellness on purpose now and for future generations. This podcast shares insights to current health trends with industry and brand leaders in the health and wellness world. This podcast is brought to you by Joanne's Place Health Foods from Peterborough and Lindsay, Ontario. My name is Marissa Laughlin. I'm a holistic nutritionist and functional lab practitioner. I've been working alongside Joanne's Place for the last 8 years, and I'm so excited to continue to be your host for this podcast. If you want to be the first to know when a new episode is dropped, be sure to go over to your preferred platform, follow our page, and then also go over and find us on social media. We're going to be releasing information there as soon as a new episode drops. Hello everyone. It's Marissa Laughlin, holistic nutritionist and functional lab practitioner here, and it's just me today. You've got just me chatting with you, and today we're going to talk about detoxification and cleansing. And I want to do this solo episode to share my professional opinion on this topic, as well as what I will be doing moving through this seasonal change to support the cleansing action and the cellular detoxification of my body. So, we have a large population of people who naturally move through this spring season and start to clean. They're purging their homes, their cars, their computers. They're looking at their refrigerators, getting rid of ingredients that maybe aren't so nutrient dense. They are starting to incorporate more fresh fruits and vegetables, and they are starting to look at ways to enhance that process in all areas of their life, but in particular, we're going to talk about the body today and seasonal cleansing and detoxification. So there's those people, and I am one of those people. I fall into that routine as soon as spring hits. I'm cleaning out the closets. I'm looking at all of the expired condiments in my fridge. I am looking at my liver health, and I'm just ready to do that reset. But then there's a large part of the population who has this belief system that our bodies should be fully equipped to do the detoxification pathway processes on its own. And I don't disagree with that. Our liver is smart. Our colon is smart. We have the ability to do that reset all on its own. But the reality of everybody's life these days is that it's not possible to keep up with the amount of toxic overload that we are ingesting on a day-to-day basis. Whether that's pesticides, herbicides, antibiotics, chemicals, synthetic fragrances, synthetic ingredients in products like cleaning products, our cosmetic products, we are inundated with toxins, no matter where it's coming from: food, cosmetics, cleaning, clothing, our work environment. We are always being in contact with those types of chemicals. So what I want to say here is, of course, our liver can digest, metabolize, and excrete things that it doesn't want. But I don't believe that the rest of the body can withstand that detoxification as fast as we're accumulating the toxins in our body. So that is why I stand on the side of seasonal cleansing. And I think it's important to notice when your body is not aligned with how it should be, and when you're not feeling your absolute best. We don't want that. We want you to feel energized. We want you to feel clear. We want you to feel motivated. And a lot of the time when we don't have that sense of being and that sense of motivation and clear thinking and cognitive function that's optimal and regular bowel movements, it's because we've got so much stuff bogging us down. So let's talk about that. Detoxification. How do you know when you need to do some detoxification? I would say if you're experiencing any symptoms like brain fog, you have extremely strong cravings for like sugar or carbohydrates, you're feeling extremely fatigued, even after sleeping for like 9, 10, 11 hours, you wake up and you're feeling like you only slept for 1 hour. If you are suffering with any type of constipation, and when I say constipation, if you're not having at least one regular bowel movement a day, you are constipated. Skin irritations like hives, acne, eczema, all of those things could be an underlying condition of toxicity buildup. If you're somebody who's getting frequently sick, colds, flus, any type of bacterial overgrowth, UTIs, vaginal infections, anything that is continuously coming back and back could tell us that there is something underlying that needs to be looked at or needs to be cleansed out. Another thing too, right around this time, is if you're feeling like you're struggling to lose weight in terms of you are living a healthy lifestyle, you have addressed hormonal imbalances, you're very active, but things are just not moving, you might be holding on to some excess amounts of toxins, which could be inhibiting that weight loss or just feeling that sense of lightness. And that could also be supportive if you were doing some type of detoxification. We're going to take a quick pause in today's episode so I can share some incredibly exciting news with you. On behalf of Joanne's Place, I'm excited to share the launch of the Wellness on Purpose program to educate you. This is an online self-directed educational program that is focusing on key pillars of your health and wellness. These pillars include your nutrition, your stress, your sleep, and your movement. As I mentioned, this is a self-directed educational online program, and guess what? It is completely complimentary, aka it is free. We've decided to offer this program for free because we think it's really important for everybody to have access to this information and to start making changes today. So to kick off the start of our online program, we have released the first pillar focusing on your nutrition. So if you want to learn more about how to eat a balanced and sustainable way without overcomplicating and following strict dietary guidelines, this program is suited for you. So to learn more about it and to enroll now, go find the registration link in the description below and get started today. But what I will say is that in the wellness industry, in terms of detoxification and cleansing right now, there are certain types of products that are being promoted for cleansing and detoxing. And the one I want to bring most attention to is Parasite Cleanse, because I'm seeing this everywhere. I am very well educated in parasites. I know how detrimental they can be. I know how stubborn they can be. But the most important thing about parasites in particular is that you need to know what parasite you have before you try to treat it. Because in order to reduce the chances of it coming back or repopulating, you need to attack it with the right antibacterial herbs or potentially an antibiotic. So when you're seeing that trend of like broad spectrum parasite cleanse, I'm not referring to that type of cleanse or detox. I'm talking about how do we look at all of the detoxification pathways at once? So that's our colon, that's our lymph, that's our skin, sweating, that's our liver, that's our kidneys, all of the detoxification pathways that we have, and make sure that they're all functioning optimally. That is why I typically look at a cleansing or a detox at a whole body approach rather than focusing on just one single organ, because they all need to be working optimally before you can have a proper cleansing and detoxification activation happen through the body. So making sure that those pathways are open is the number one part of starting any type of cleanse, and most people miss that part. They have no idea that it's not just about using the washroom every day or increasing urination. It's making sure that there's enough fiber that moves through the digestive system to absorb all those toxins and remove them, to make sure that the liver has the capacity to filter through all those toxins and remove them and not recirculate them back into the body. It's important to make sure the lymphatic system is fully functioning and moving in order for those toxins to move through, go through all of the lymph nodes and then be eliminated as well. So there's so much more that goes into cleansing that needs a little bit more direction before we just jump on any type of cleanse. So that's actually why I brought you here today, is because I want to talk about not only those symptoms, but what goes into a daily detoxification. And I'm actually going to go into depth on that in our next seminar that's happening in person on April 26th. I will be at the Water Street Joanne's Place location, and my colleague Rebecca Caravan, who is also a nutritionist, will be at our Lindsay location, and we're going to talk about how we want you to do things every single day moving through the spring season to open up those pathways using specific lifestyle changes as well as targeted nutrients that can actually help to really enhance that detoxification pathway and get you feeling your absolute best. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, is put that little plug in there that we are running a amazing informational seminar on April 26th. Now, a little sneak peek. I want to share what I am personally doing. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's suited for you, but what I am doing to start this act of daily detoxification. First and foremost, making sure that the most important detoxification pathway is open, which is the colon. I am increasing my dietary fiber by doing two things. I am increasing my ground flax consumption. So I'm consuming 2 tablespoons of ground flax every single day. Flax is an amazing fiber. It's a really great binding agent to remove toxins. It's great for removing excess cholesterol, excess fat, helps keep you full longer. Flax is the answer, but it has to be ground, not whole, because that can be irritating the gut lining. Making sure it's ground. It's easy to add into things. You can add it on yogurt. You can put it in your smoothie. You can put it in cereal, whatever that might be. 2 tablespoons per day of ground flax. The other thing that I'm doing to support my colon health during this phase of detoxification is increasing my produce and plant intake. So it is actually suggested to have 30 different plant sources per week to keep the microbiome flourishing, to keep the diversity of different nutrients coming to the gut amplified, and then also to increase your fiber intake. So 30 different vegetables, fruits, grains, anything that is a plant, 30 different of them per week. So incorporating more of those fresh produce items at this time, eating more brown rice, eating more grains that are very nutrient dense, not processed, to get at least a variety of 30 different plants in my diet per week. So that's the second thing. Now, the other thing that I am starting to incorporate more intentionally is opening up the detoxification pathways of the skin. And there's very few ways you can do that, but the number one way, the best way, that's not just good for detoxification, but good for everything else, is sweating. So daily movement that is not just a movement of lifting a weight or going for a very small, short walk. I am going to be intentional in increasing my activity level to produce some type of perspiration during that activity. That way I can start to activate that detoxification pathway and get those toxins out through my skin as well. So not just sweating from the armpits, we want to have an activity level where we're in really increasing that sweating over the entire body. So a little bit more cardio or a little bit more intensity in your workouts to have that sweating effect happen. So those are the 2 pathways that I'm starting with to open for the next few weeks. And then I'm going to move through the other detoxification pathways, which we're going to talk about all in our detoxification seminar. Again, that's happening on April 26th. So I'm not going to give any more spoilers. I just wanted to share some insight on my view as a nutritionist and functional lab practitioner on detoxifications and why I think it's more important to focus on daily detoxification so you can reduce that buildup of toxins in the body, and then how we can use targeted healing nutraceuticals and specific herbs to actually enhance those detoxification pathways as we transition through the spring season. So if you want to join us for the seminar, again, there'll be one that night in Peterborough, Ontario, and then there'll be one in Lindsay, Ontario. So you don't want to miss out. The registration link is down below. You can sign yourself up, and we look forward to seeing you guys there. Anyways, that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Just a reminder, if you haven't already, go over to your preferred platform, follow our page, and then find us over on social media so you're notified as soon as a new episode is released. That's all for now, and we'll see you in the next episode.